So, Liman, we are live, I think.
Hey, Miss Naomi, how are you?
I'm okay, and you?
I could be doing better, but with what is going back home, we are all sharing our deep grief with the families and all those involved in the unfortunate situations that happened over the weekend.
Yeah. What happened in Nkambe is something that I believe no parent should go through in their lifetime. You know, we understand that things do happen during a war, but losing children of the age of 5, 6, 7, 8 is really something. It's more of a tragedy to the parents. So I suggest that before we begin, we should observe a moment of silence for those that lost their lives during the explosions in Nkambe. Maybe just 10 seconds will be okay. May their souls and all the souls of the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in peace.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Okay, Liman, so over to you.
Uh, then Alowabi, I am really short of words. The tragedy that happened rock at the center of our humanity. I was extremely devastated when I saw the images coming from the ground. As a parent, as a father, as a brother, uh, I, I can't explain the grief we feel as a family. And for many people who don't know, I actually come from that region. My father comes from that region, so it's home for me. I'm an Amazonian, and when things like that happen, uh, you are just out of words. Uh, it takes another level of barbarism to hurt kids, children, and unarmed civilians in that manner. So I still find it difficult to reckon with the fact that a government like that of La République du Cameroon is capable of going at length and endangering the life of young Amazonian children without regards, without remorse, just for a political stunt. And it leaves all of us with this terrible feeling. I don't even have words to explain how I feel about the situation. I'm just out of words, Nanuwabi. Maybe you can help me with words, but this is beyond barbarism. This is just pure evil. You know, that was a young girl. She was barely 15. She had her whole life in front of her. We had dozens of young people who were injured, students, children mainly, with an explosion which was targeting unarmed civilians. Who can do such a thing? I mean, who in his right mind will validate such an action and think it's something that we should celebrate? I mean, it is bad. It is a stain on our conscience. So I'm sending my regards to the family. I'm sending uh, my condolences to all the families affected, and we have them in our thoughts and prayers.
Thank you very much, Liman. You've said it, you've said all of it. I was shocked when somebody sent me the images from Cambe. I didn't even understand what was going on. Um, some people, the person who sent those images was like, oh, this is the work of Amber and all of that. Then I asked the person, are you sure that it is Amber? Because this is a war, it can be anybody, you know. But I remember that a couple of weeks ago, I made a video where I said in a situation like ours, it is true that you don't want to disobey the military and you don't want to disobey the amber because you are caught in the middle. Okay. The 11th of February is banned by ambers, but by the military, it's a national day and they expect everyone to be out and doing what they want them to do. So I guess the population is caught between, I don't know, two evil, and no one seems to be the lesser evil. You see, but
Wow.
also, as much as I would not condone anybody putting things like that without knowing who exactly you are targeting, whether it was like public targeting the children or it was Amber targeting the children. Right now, I don't know who did that. But either way, I think our parents, our parents should start to take things like this very seriously. You know, I think going out and not coming back is more serious than getting punishment in school for not being there on 11th of February. Do you get my point? Because if we stay home, what we get is punishment for not being there. I got punished for not being at 11th February, but at that time there was no amber. I didn't just go because my parents actually punished me for not going. Like I did something at home and then they said you are not going to go for 11th February. Then the school punished me for not coming. You know.
Yeah.
Now I think that is the better evil of getting your punishment at the end of the maybe the next few days in school, but then you are sure that you are not caught in between two people settling their scores.
You know, what you say is extremely relatable, right? You are spot on, and I want to go a little bit further. You see, we are trapped. The Amazonian people are trapped in this triangle. Okay, at the top of it, you have the occupying force who are ready to kill, use every form to get their way. At the right side, you have the Amazonian patriot volunteers doing their best to defend the people and also stay alive. At the other end, you have what I call the merchant of war, these war merchants who profit from the pain of our people. And these people, they come from two spectrum. You have the barons, the CPT and barons on one side of the spectrum that benefit from the misery of our people. They take money from the government and instigate those situations, trying to uh, make the people, the government of the republic, to see that they are there for the people and to stay in power. Then on the Amazonian spec side, you have these warmongers. I call them merchant of wars. Okay, these are people who are from Amazonian origin. They have infiltrated the Amazonian restoration process so thoroughly that they even appear to be leaders of the revolution. These are people who hide in the diaspora, and I'm not mixing my words. These are people who hide in the diaspora and make utterances and instigate some rock fighters to go against the will of the people. And these people need to be stopped. And I'm very sincere about what I'm saying. Until all of us, we develop that collective, um, we develop that collective responsibility to know that Amazonia is me and you, is the people on the ground. That is the Amazonia we are fighting for. We are not fighting for a government or for the political ambition of anyone. And so any of these people who have triangulated our people, put them in that middle of that crossfire, and is using them as political pawns, we need to start identifying all of them and just segregate them from our communities. And before I transition, I want to call on people like Comrade Ayaba and Comrade Chris Anu. They are part of that spectrum of extremists who have these people have infiltrated the revolution. Okay, and I'll explain to you why. A few minutes after the explosions, Comrade Ayaba post on his public Facebook page that uh, we have attacked Kambe, and we have occupied Jakiri. Okay, In, which implies that somehow he is responsible for the action. But we all know Ayaba barely have any fighting forces. He is just a propagandist hiding in Norway and talking loud. The next person is Comrade Chris Anu. He went online and he made a video threatening Ambazonians not to step out, and that the Amba fighters have the authority to take away vehicles, take away properties, and physically harm anyone who disobey the orders that were passed. This is the type of loose talk that sinks ships. When you go out there and you know you don't have the element of force in your favor, and you make threats, the enemy is sure to use that opportunity and inflict pain on our people, just so that the world can say, hey, look, these people are now killing their own. And I want to say this is not a good way to go. Ambassadors from all over the world, they need to step up and call out this abuse, this loose talk, this provocation on our people. Ambazonia is a just cause. We are fighting for peace, justice, and equity. Equity means we want what belongs to us. We are not fighting to break the Republic of Cameroon into two. No. We are fighting to restore the Republic of Southern Cameroon, which was bequeathed to us by our forefathers. So I'm calling on all Ambazonians to muster the courage and rise up and denounce all form of excesses, all form of extremism. Any person who goes against civilians, who attacks civilian infrastructures, these people are not for Ambazonia. I want to make that thoroughly clear. Thank you very much.
Okay, Comrade Lima, so what we are saying is that the incident in Cambe was not perpetrated by Ambazonians. Is that correct?
Listen to me, Comrade Nalobabi. I'm very serious and I mean this. You see, Amber fighters, each time Amber fighters are arrested or killed, you see den guns beside them. Okay? You see some old rusty AK-47s beside them. You know Amber fighters do not have the technology or the organization or the logistics to infiltrate a place like Cambe, which is heavily guarded. There is an army camp in Cambe. Okay? One of the biggest army camp in the whole of Ambazonia is in Cambe. Not only that, a few kilometers away, you have the army camp, the major training ground for the Cameroon army is in Kutaba. Okay, it is a few kilometers east of Cambe. Do you think that Amber fighters who were unable to stop the fighting, to stop the march past in Bamenda Stadium, which is the heart of Ambazonia, to stop the march past in Fako, to stop the march past in Limbe and other areas that are far from the central city? Amber fighters could not stop the march past in Manu. But do you think they have the potential, the capacity to stop the march past in Cambe, an area that has enjoyed relatively calm? There has been calmness in Cambe. That's the first point. The second point, Nalobabi, listen to me, it's just disastrous. When you look at the explosion, right? If you saw the images, it wasn't they did not use gas bottles, which has always been the case with Amber fighters, because that's the only thing they have, right? They did not use the local artisan explosive that they use, right? bottles, what they call the bottles that they put
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
fuel in and they shoot it. It wasn't that, it was a sophisticated bomb planted, okay, and it took forever to explode. It was time, so it was done by professionals.
And if I understand, only La Republic has that capacity.
That is the whole question mark there. So you think if Ambazonians had the capacity, they will go to waste it in Cambe? They will not attack the grandstand in Bamenda? See, Naloba, I am very, very angry with the likes of Ayaba and Chris Ano. These are people who are so hungry for power and visibility. They will say just anything to look as if they are in control. They don't care if what they say is against the people or it puts the people against the Amber fighters. As long as it makes them look tough, they will go to hell just to prove a point. And that really pains, because you see the international community now is confused. They don't know, they cannot even come to imagine why we should be attacking our own to prove a point to La République. Why should we attack our own children to prove a point I mean, that is just, that's just counterintuitive. I don't even know how
Yeah.
to explain it.
A lot of people have inboxed me about the MP for, I don't know, Kambi. I don't know anything about the how. I don't even know anymore how the MPs are distributed in Kambi. But they have an MP there. It's Gala Gerard is somebody that I used to know before, and somebody that I wouldn't lie, somebody that I have great respect for. Um, but since the Amber struggle started, his name has always been, for the everything that happens around Cambe, his name is always in front of those tragedies. This is not the first time that his name has come up. And but then when I talk to some people from Cambe, and then they give me the impression that, oh no, he's a very good man. He helps the community a lot. It doesn't matter 11 February or no 11 February, he's always there for his people. Yeah. Now, but then I watched a video where he was sharing, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000. I have no idea, but he was sharing money. And there was a part that he said, uh, and he said something like, why don't I give them something to enjoy the youth day,
Mhm.
And at that point, then I began to think like, it looks like La Republic used these children as human shields, because um, how do you know that there is a war in a zone, and then you give, let's say he did not ask any child to go out and march, okay, but imagine you were in Amazonia growing up, and imagine when your parents gave you 500 on 11 February. You don't even need your parents permission to sneak out of the house to go and buy sugarcane, and the other things that we used to buy on days like that. Okay. So when you give people, children, money and say they should enjoy the 11th February, the only one way to enjoy 11th February that all of us know is by being there at the stadium.
Of course.
Yeah. So
Initially.
that's why I said at this point, I don't know if it was, I cannot say it with certainty that it was La Republic, and I cannot say with certainty that it was Amber. But then the parents of these children, that is why, all this while I keep doing the videos, you must protect your children. It is your place to choose the lesser evil on both sides, because those children left home, it might be that their parents knew, it might be that some of the parents did not know. Now we cannot know which is which, but the truth is most of the parents know the situation in Ambazonia. All of us, the only thing we should be doing is protecting our children. Like I said, you can have your child take 10 strokes the following day in school, is fine, but at least you are sure that your child is coming home, your child is home safe with you. Because this is more or less like a war. You cannot know what is going, like you said, that the war comes from different angles. at the end of the day, might be the people that we are even saying they did or they didn't were not even the ones that were involved in this. I keep saying that our parents should avoid going to gatherings, except it is extremely necessary. 11 February was not one of them.
Uh, Comrade let me beg to differ with you. Okay, I want to face this in a purely from a purely societal point of view. Okay, you are a young student and you have lived in Nkambe your whole life, and your parents ask you to go out and go march, and you hear on social media, on TV that it's not safe to go out, but the government comes out and assure you that everybody should come up. Not just that, you have the representative of the people in the presence of Jerangala. He is out there sharing gratuities to children, mothers in the market, and asking everybody to come out and celebrate at the grandstand. We have videos of him doing that. They came with big suitcase of money from La Republique because Jerangala is a broke man. He doesn't have any business he's managing to have that kind of money. Okay? He doesn't have any legitimate business. The money they get is from the government, which is supposed to go towards the people for projects like water, medication in the hospitals, uh, electricity, social programs. They siphon those money and then they use it to buy buy the people, a few people to come out and show that they support them so they can rig elections properly. See, that's what our people are facing. So personally, I cannot hold any student responsible. Even if these children choose to disrespect the order that was put in place by the Amber fighters, okay? Even if they openly disobey them, it doesn't give us the right to attack them because they, at the end of it, they are our brothers, they are our sisters. We cannot kill our own just because they disobey the rules. Between me and you, how many times growing up would our parents ask us to go and carry water? We'll go and drop the bucket and be playing soccer or dodging. When you come back home, will your father kill you? And you will do that all the time. It's called human nature and being a child. So I will not give any credibility to any individual or group leader saying that people were warned and they disobeyed the rules. No. If you say such a thing, it means that because they disobeyed the rules, that is why you guys planted the bombs to harm them. And it makes you guilty.
Mm-hmm.
So I will even venture in that argument. My point is, this is a conflict of two countries, the Republic of Cameroon and the Republic of Southern Cameroons. Mm-hmm. It is up to Ambazonians to organize themselves and ask this central question. When we stop schools from resuming, how does that help us to restore our country? When we plant bombs, or let me say, if we plant a bomb at the stand, when they are celebrating 11th of February, which is actually funny because historically, 11th of February is an Ambazonian day. It is not a La République day. It was only borrowed by La République from 1965.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Exactly. Foncha used to be the one to celebrate it and say, this is the day we freed ourselves from the West. This day belongs to the youth who are the future of tomorrow. Okay? That is why the youth were paraded. They would do stuff. They would dance. They would do poetry and do all the parades. That was an affirmation of their loyalty to the state of Southern Cameroons. Now, it would have been even more productive if we had asked all Ambazonians to go out in mass and march on 11 February and then instead boycott the 20th of May, which is the day that we were annexed by La République in 1972.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, there is a lot of confusion going on. There is a lot of misinformation going on. And our children are caught in between all these lies, political posturing, and outright subjugation of our people. So I think me and you, and all the activists out there should raise our voice and condemn what happened in Cambe in the strongest terms. That is not Ambazonia. That is not the Ambazonia we are fighting for. And that shall never be our story. We shall never attack our own to prove a point. So, as far as I'm concerned, La République du Cameroon is 100% guilty. La République du Cameroon is 100% responsible. And we have the facts to show. Before I conclude, do you remember what happened in Sonora? When Sonora, there was an explosion in Sonora. Okay? We have the same Ayaba and the Christian who came up and said, "Oh, we hit Sonara." And after the investigations, it came up that we did not do anything. Sonara was not hit by Ambazonians. It was an industrial accident that happened. So we have to be very careful with some of this reckless propaganda. And that is why you see, I condemn Ayaba and Chris Anu in the strongest of terms. They should not even be adding pain to the misery of our people by saying we did that when they know that they did not, they don't even have the
They
capacity.
didn't do it. Yeah,
They don't
you're
have
right.
the
You're right
capacity.
there. All right. Okay. Before you continue, so some people are asking if it's okay that we can receive phone calls. I don't know if that's okay with you.
Oh, I'm 100% fine as long
But
as,
the problem about the phone calls is I cannot receive phone calls because I'm using my phone because I'm not anywhere around the house. So I'm using my cell phone. So if they have to receive calls, then you will be the one to share the number that will be used on WhatsApp.
oh no, I'm okay. My number is a public number.
Okay, so what we can do is okay, and let me see. Just give me a minute, and the problem is I have no idea how to put it on screen. Um, just a moment. Mm. Okay. I don't know. The number is not yet on screen.
Yeah, I mean, they can send a text or
Can
that's,
you just while the background they're trying to put in the number, can you just read it out? Maybe those who are there can, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, you can get a hold of us on 330-933-4378. It's a US number, so you have to add a zero in front, and you can get a hold of us easily. I think the technician should be able to have the number running below. Uh, I think we don't have
Yes,
maybe
that's yes. Put the number. So okay, yes. So the number is there now.
it's wrong. We have there is no nine. It should be 330-933-4378. Um,
Just a moment. Yeah, there you go. I think that's it, right?
yep. Then I'll have to switch to the phone so we can get it directly online. So there's gonna be a little switch for a little bit. So give excuse me for a couple seconds. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know if the others are hearing.
Let me ask our technician if it's possible to connect the phone. Yeah,
So
it won't go through.
let me understand, what were you using your laptop?
Yeah, I use both. I can use my laptop and the phone, but for some reason it doesn't transmit.
Oh no, what are you using currently?
I have my phone and my laptop.
Um,
So you see, I can actually use it from both.
so if they call through your WhatsApp, are you able to answer the call?
I can answer the call, but the audience will not be able to hear. So that is what I'm a little bit afraid of. Oh, hold on. Let me see. I think we can get that to work. Give me a minute.
Or maybe you just do it like a normal call. If they call through, just put it on loudspeaker and they can hear you. Okay, for some reason I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I think our callers can now call. Since I'm using the same device, they will be able to hear us. Let them mind, I'm a little bit far away.
Okay,
That
that's
is
fine.
what.
I think that's okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah, they
think
can
that's
now
okay.
call. They can call. I think they will be able to get through to us.
Okay, no problem. So, um, Comedy man, what I'm trying to say is, first I will ask you again. So, with everything that you have said, it boils down to the fact that Ambazonians were not responsible for the tragedy, correct?
No, I can 100% state to you that Ambazonians don't have the capability to orchestrate such an attack. You know,
Okay.
it is very visible. All the generals have been killed. Ambazonia barely have any fighters. So who is the one planting the bombs? La République already declared that they have killed all the general. So it is ironic for them to come back and say, we placed the bombs. What they have done is they have killed, they want to kill the dog by giving it a bad name. La République have the resources, the capability, and the technology to orchestrate such attacks. Ambazonians don't have it. The boys are fighting with Dane guns and old AK-47s. Where do they get that technology from? So again, I don't believe until I'm proven beyond reasonable doubt, I will hold to it that the bombing wasn't done by Ambazonians. We don't have that capability.
Okay. All right. I see. Okay. While you are saying that it's not Ambazonia and it's La Republic, and you don't want to blame the children, I am with you on that. I don't blame the children. Okay, I don't blame the children, and I blame whoever did that. But I still am of the opinion that our parents should take better care of our siblings. Because we cannot come every day and talk about the same issues. Because 20th May is around the corner. Right. Let's say it was La Republic that did this. 20th May is coming again, and then these children will go out again, and then here we are again online. I think we should start by having our parents keep our siblings back home. I think that is what we should, like I said, that they need to choose between the two evils and see which one is lesser at each given time. Because if I'm honest with you, the Republic wouldn't have gone to those houses and beat up those children to go and march. That is why it was easier for them to say, okay, I will give you money to go out and march, because they know that you cannot go flogging people's children to go out. You know, So I think that we should also try to educate our parents back home. I know that most of the parents are not online. Um, um, they don't know what is going on, but I think the younger generation that are always online should try to talk to the elderly, to their parents, their aunties, that please keep the children home. It doesn't matter if they even get suspended for 1 week in school, but at least the essential thing is that your child is home and your child is happy.
Hold on, Comrade B. There is somebody calling. Let me see if we can take the call.
Okay.
Okay, we can hear you. Go ahead, please. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Yes, go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear him? Hello? Um, Comrade Liman. Okay, so it seems like Comrade Liman is having some network issues. Um, so like I was saying before that I'm a human rights activist. I'm not a politician. I'm not
Go ahead.
oh, sorry about that.
Go ahead. I can hear you now. We are back on. Uh, Comrade Nalova, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't hear the caller.
He dropped.
Okay. So like I was saying before that I'm not a politician. I'm just an activist, and the only job I have is to educate people on how to stay safe. Okay. For the Amazonian leaders, I guess a lot of them already know what consequences they get for their actions. I'm not the one to educate them on that. I guess they are very educated to know what it is that they get for the things that they do and take responsibilities for. Okay. Um, my job of recent has been to keep our people safe. I was just a little bit, I was shocked. I would not say a little bit. I was really shocked to see, hear, and what happened in Nkambe, because I thought that maybe until this point our people have learned over the years, and and we're listening.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
No,
Yeah, go ahead, please. I can hear you. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Okay, it seems like we are having a bit of a problem with the phone calls coming through. So I think if anyone has a question or has something to say, the person might just write it down in the comment section, and then we'll look at it and then give a reply to it, because it looks like Comrade Lehman is having issues with getting people on the phone. So, okay, he's back. The phone is not working, right?
No, there is a small technical issue because the speaker can actually call. Some reason when I connect, because I don't know, my phone is not good enough. It takes either me out or it takes the speaker out. So if they can send a text, we can still read their questions. That's fine. They can send a WhatsApp
Yeah, that
and we can read it. That will be easier for all of us.
yeah, that's what I just said. They could just send a text and it will be easier. So like I was saying that I'm not really a politician, and I'm just a human rights activist. I'm calling the world to look at what happened in Nkambe, and for the UN, the um, responsibility to protect and all of that, they should look into it and hold. You see, at this point, I don't know who is responsible, because when I look at it on both ways, believe me, on a normal day, I would just say it looks like Amber came together with La Republic as one big happy family, which that it will never happen. So, but I don't want to blame either side of this. I just want to make sure that the population is safe. I don't want to say it was Amber or that it was La Republic. I'm not apportioning blames here. My only problem is the parents should try to keep their children away from places that they know that for some reason something bad might happen. This is not the first 11 February or 20th May that something has gone wrong since this war started in 2016. It has always been happening in different areas. So it is better that our parents keep us home. That is still my solution to this problem. They should keep the kids home, because it's not the first time that La Republic has done something like, okay, imagine, remember what happened is in Gembo, the call. What has, until today that we are talking, what has happened?
Nothing.
What, exactly, exactly. So that's my point. When La Republic does something, nobody is able to bring them to order. The only thing they will do is they will send out a communique and say, maybe in the course of duty, something happened, and there you go. That's the end. But we should not also forget that the children that died are our children. Like I said, that we need to start to keep ourselves safe. Because if we say today that it was La Republique, there's nothing you and I, including those parents, can do to the government. If we even say that it was Amber, there's still nothing you and I can do to the Amber boys, because this is a war. It's like saying that you put something for the DO on his way, and then a civilian passes through there. You cannot. There are no specific places that says these places are meant for civilians. So that's the point. So at this juncture now, we cannot say that the Amber Boys did it purposely to kill the children. The only people that would have done that purposely was the government. But then, to avoid guessing who did and who didn't, is just to keep our children safe. Because right now, the 1,000 funds that those children collected has not helped any of them. None of them. And maybe if you look at it, even those that were injured during that incident were not even those who collected 1,000 funds. Maybe some of them even collected the 1,000 and didn't even appear.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you see, the issue is, like I said, the issue is we should try to educate our parents to keep our siblings back home safe. I know the people on the ground will not be happy with saying that we need to blame somebody, but I'm not going to blame anybody. I'm just going to ask the parents to keep the younger ones safe. Those who are 21 and 22, they can make decisions on their own. If they choose to go, whatever happens there, they have themselves to blame. But those younger ones that are excited, about 11 February 20, I mean, I was once excited about these things too. So I can imagine. But then when you put your child down and you explain to the child you can't go because of A, B, C, D, E, F, I'm sure that every child by now, at least from 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, for some reason, maybe they don't understand why there is a fight, but I'm sure that they know that something is not right. You know, they know that it is not safe. They have been hearing gunshots and all of that. So you just need to push a little bit and explain to them why they cannot do things like that anymore.
Yeah, Comrade Nalobabi, I hear your cry as a mother. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, I hear your cry as a mother. I'm not talk for pigeon. Many people don't understand. You know, bad things will happen. We cannot prevent bad things from happening. Okay, as you rightly said, it's a war. People them no fit lock themselves inside house forever. But they don't lock themselves inside house for over 7 years. Nothing, no one change. My point is simple. It is immaterial if uh, the war will get am for Ambazonia. Na La République e plant the bomb or na Amba fighters dem plant the bomb. What is painful is that pikin they don't die, pikin they don't be wounded. Okay, should we persist in this conflict, knowing too well that the solution is for us to both La République and the Ambazonians to sit and follow the rules of law. The only solution is for us to agree to an exclusive referendum and let the people vote. So when situations like this happen, and then Ambazonian leaders then come out, some of the group leaders, them like Ayaba, he put up with Facebook say they don't hit Jakiwi, they don't hit Kambe. That is an act of provocation to the family members. That is an act of provocation to the bereaved. Yes, he might be doing his propaganda stunt, but that is not being sensitive to the people whose children have been affected. So for me, I'm not in the position to tell the parents to go out or not to go out. Mama Apia was born in her home. Okay? Many of our grandmothers were killed in their homes. So either way, our people will still die if the war doesn't end and we look for a peaceful solution to end the conflict. But what we don't need is agent provocateur. People who come and say, if you go out on 11 February, we will harm you. Amber boys will kill you. Those are people who don't even know what is going on the ground. Amber fighters cannot hurt their own population. I want to be crystal clear on this one. Okay? So for me, I want us to have this understanding and agree that we cannot allow these Amber fighters or La République who are dressed like Amber fighters to terrorize our people. So again, you cannot hold the parents responsible, okay, for what happened in Nkambe. You cannot hold the students who are victims responsible, regardless if they were warned not to go out there. We have to hold the people who planted that bomb, whoever they are, responsible. And this nasty war must come to an end. We need to go back and go back to the constitution. The Constitution is there to guide us. The people of Ambazonia have the right to vote in an exclusive referendum and decide what they want. And this can only be possible if there is a ceasefire agreement and an agreement is reached for La Republic to withdraw the troops. We have peacekeeping forces to maintain that peace and give an opportunity for our refugees and IDPs to return, and then we can now organize ourselves and have that referendum and decide if we want to remain with them or leave, as we did in 1961. So I would not be intellectually dishonest to blame the victim for the demise, for the actions of another person. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Liman, I understand you 100%. Believe me, I really do understand you. But the problem right now is we can only do those things that are within our reach to do. For example, La Republic is in no position to sit with anybody for any settlement whatsoever. Okay? Amazonia is so disorganized that I don't know who is who anymore. Now, like I said, my only job right now is to make sure that the civilians do not get caught in two disorganized set of people doing whatever thing that they are doing. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. I'm not blaming the parents. No, I'm not. But what I'm saying is maybe going forward, the parents should they should be the one to judge which one is the lesser evil. Now, it doesn't matter if it is going to be planted by La Republic or by Ambazonia. Either way, it's a war zone. You get my point? As of now, until when there is any form of peaceful settlement, we need to figure out how to keep those children safe. Remember that they say the children are the future of tomorrow. Well, I haven't seen that in La Republic for my 39 years there, because I was a child and somebody who was almost 80 years was still in an office. I don't know when I was supposed to become the future, but we are hoping that in a free Amazonia, that slogan is going to work. And for it to work, we need to make sure that our children are actually there when we go back home. So if we don't try to educate the parents to keep their children away from war zones, then we are not doing them a favor. Yet it is true that I blame 100% whoever is responsible for this act. It doesn't matter who that person is, because the person knew for sure that kids were going to be there either way. Whoever didn't knew that the kids were going to be there, they just wanted to prove a point.
Exactly.
They just wanted to prove a point. That's the honest truth. But then the problem is, maybe it's time for us not to allow them to prove anything. Because the truth is, if there were no kids there, then there will be no point to prove. That's it.
Comrade Nalova, you are right, but I want to plead to differ with you. Okay? I understand that you are an activist for human rights and you are there for the people. But as a pure Ambazonian, okay, as a patriot, right, there are things I cannot pretend to. I don't have the luxury to come and say, let our people hide. Because if they stay in their homes, children were taken out of dormitories and killed. Dormitories were burned. Homes were burned with people inside. Children were hanged in their homes in Santa. Children, young men were gathered and killed. Those people were not marching. The problem is we cannot put lipstick on this cancer. We cannot put a band-aid on this cancer and pray that it goes away. Okay? We have to be courageous enough to face the truth. Ambazonians need to understand that going out for 11 February or not banning 11 February is just cosmetics, feel-good solutions. It is not for the people to hide on their own ancestral lands. I am challenging the people who call themselves Ambazonian leaders. I am challenging the frontline activists. Instead of them going after asking our people to stay home, might be they should come together and put forward a solution. Instead of them complaining about our people not respecting the rules, maybe they should go out there and unite amongst themselves and bring forward a principal position and meet La Republique on a dialogue table and state what they want unequivocally. What I will not do on the head of my ancestors is to blame victims of an unfortunate situation that they have no control over. The truth is, even if those children stayed back in their homes, they will still, La Republique forces will still come and meet them there. There is no safety in Ambazonia. Even the homes that they want people to stay in, the homes are not safe. So instead of us worrying about a temporal quick fix, let us go for the peaceful, permanent solution. Let us look for a solution that is acceptable to the international organizations, to our Ambazonian people, and everyone around us. So we cannot keep pretending that keeping our children back home is going to be a solution. No, we, the people of Ambazonia, need to rise up, organize ourselves, and face La Republique squarely. We cannot ask people to hide forever. They have been hiding for 7 years. For how many more years should they keep hiding?
I agree with you, but you would also remember that it was the government of Cameroon that backed out from the Canadian peace process. Remember that?
Sure, Comrade Naloba. The government
Okay.
of Cameroon declared war because they knew that they were militarily stronger than us, that they could take, they could kill us into submission. Now, the question I want to ask you is, if a giant challenged you to a fight, you knowing that you don't have the means, will you fight till he kills you, or will you say, listen, let me call the police so the police can come out and break up the fight so I don't get killed? This is a matter of pure survival. It's not a matter of who started the war. It's a matter of, can Ambazonians sustain 8 years of our children not going to school? Can Ambazonia sustain 8 years of our parents not being able to go to farm? Can Ambazonians survive another 8 years of this unsafe situation? So it is high time we see past the quick fix. We cannot keep putting band-aid on this cancer. We, as the Ambazonian people, it is time for the group leaders to say, hey, our people have suffered enough. Might be, just might be, we keep the groupism aside, we come together and we look for a solution to end the war permanently and bring freedom to our people. Asking our people to hide inside the house where they will still be killed by La Republique forces is not a solution. So no, I will respectfully disagree with you, dear Comrade Nalova. Telling our people to stay home is not a solution. When our people took out branches and go out to protest against the occupying force, we were not the ones who asked them to go out. When our people decided to stay away from school and stay on home on Country Sunday, it was not Amba fighters who asked them to stay. Our people stay because they love their freedom. They stay because they want to free themselves from subjugation. So there is no one who can convince me that the people who were trapped in the bombing incident are somehow guilty because they did not stay back at home. No, I am of the opinion that Ambazonians are free to do whatever they want. Those who are free, those who want to show force, like Ayaba, who wants to use propaganda, those like Chris Anu, they are liable by law. You know it as I know it. If you promise people bodily harm and somebody harms them, the first person they go to is you. So I'm calling on Ayaba and Chris Anu to stop putting out these threats that they know they don't have the capability to sustain it. I don't know if you get my point.
No, I get your point. You're right. You're right. You're right there. You're right there because when you say things like that, that you maybe you don't even mean them, and then something goes wrong, you are the first person. In fact, you are the one that they hold responsible. It's normal. But
Exactly.
also I would want to explain to you that the current solution that you are suggesting um, it's not in the hands of Ambazonians. It's in the hands of La Republique. Like I said, remember that Ambazonia was in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And remember that it was La Republique that backed out of the negotiations. It was not Ambazonia.
No,
Now,
Ambazonia was not in. Let me correct you there, Comrade B. This is the problem that has happened. A lot of dishonesty is going on. The war is between the Republic of Cameroon and the former Republic of Southern Cameroons. The war is not between the Republic of Cameroon and groups like AGOVC, IGs, and all the rest. Okay? Ambazonians have failed. The Ambazonian activist platforms have failed to present a united front that can stand up against La République. We are fighting as disorganized, dysfunctional, and poorly organized groups against a state. That is why La République is free to walk to the table and walk away. If Ambazonians had organized themselves before going to Switzerland or Canada and represent themselves as the people of the Republic of Southern Cameroons, La République will have no reason to back away. La République always leave the table with the pretext that they are a sovereign country. They cannot come and negotiate with groups of armed bandits. And we are there giving them the fuel because we keep going to these meetings as AGOVC, IG, APLM, SCNC. No, we should not be doing that. We should be going to the table as the people from the former Republic of Southern Cameroons, today called the Republic of Ambazonia. Because it is a country against another country. It is not a country against rebel groups. So why, rather than telling the people back home to hide and stay in their homes, might be Ambazonians should come out and organize themselves, speak in one voice, under one flag, as a nation which is under subjugation. The people who say the children who were killed did not listen to others, are they themselves listening to others? Are they listening to what our people are crying every day, that they want unity? So again, I will never, on the life of my ancestors, blame the children who were forced out of their homes to go to that field and march. They are innocent. It doesn't matter what we say, the children are innocent. The people who planted the bombs are responsible. And I cannot relativize this fact. And I will never be of the opinion that we can blame the victims. You can never blame a victim.
Comrade Lehman, I don't think anyone is actually blaming the victims here. What I'm trying to explain is that as much as we are blaming both sides of the conflict, because right now we don't know who is actually responsible. You and I are no fact-finding mission. Okay. Um, we are looking for possible solutions, but what I'm saying is, while we are looking for those solutions, which are not just solutions that you and I can craft online or in our bedrooms, and these are
Mhm.
international solutions that needs talking here, talking there, bringing this person here. It's not something that is done in a day or two. Okay. But what I'm saying is, before that happens, or while that is going on, while those politicians and I don't know what they are doing all that, we can try to also develop methods to keep the population safe for the meantime. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not
How?
saying that I'm not saying that our parents are to be blamed for the children going out and all of that. Like I said, that might be some of the children even left their homes without their parents knowing. So we cannot also say that we are blaming the parents 100%. So I'm not actually blaming them, but what I'm saying is, maybe it is time for our parents also should put down the kids and talk to them in a language that the kids will understand, not only about 11 February, even about staying out late, going to unnecessary gatherings. These are things that people educate their children on in every country where there is a civil unrest. These are just the normal civic duty of each parent to say you cannot be out after 6 p.m. You cannot go to gatherings if they are not extremely necessary. Before you leave, even to carry water, do not go when it's dark. Things like that. Our parents used to say to us, even though there was no crisis at that time. So what I'm saying is, while they are looking for the high ranking solution, I'm just looking for what will keep them safe until those high ranking solutions actually come to pass. Yeah, something like that. That's my point. My point is not that I'm blaming them. My point is, okay, it has happened. How do we prevent it not to happen again? We are here blaming both sides for what happened. People have taken credit for things that they should be hiding their faces. You
No,
know.
comrade, I want to interrupt you a little bit. Please permit me interrupt you. There are not both sides. There is one side. For me, there is one side. Okay? The side which is responsible is La République du Cameroon. I don't blame Ambazonia for this bombing. Not at all. I blame La République 100%. Okay? Now, this is the second point. My second point is I am asking groups and group heads like the Ayabas, the Chris Anus, that when something like this happens, they should not come out and claim it and say that they're the ones who did it when they know that they don't have the capability to do it. So I want to set the record straight. They don't have the capability to do it, so I'm not blaming both sides. And then again, if I could ask you this question, do you remember Mama Mata, Mama Apia? Where
Mhm.
was she born? Was she born at the gold stand? No, she was born in her home. The hundreds of people who have been burned to ashes in their homes. Baby Mata, was she killed at the grandstand? Everywhere, as one person rightly said, everywhere you have La Republic troops, there is bound to be collateral damage. So instead of us asking our people to hide in homes, because nowhere in Ambazonia is safe. So instead of us asking them to stay inside, might be the same energy that Chris Anu and the others are using to ask people to stay out, to stay inside the homes. They should use it to ask each other that, hey, can we come together and speak in one voice, like one man, and bring La Republic to the table? You understand what I'm saying? They are directing their energy towards the wrong people, because there is nowhere safe in Ambazonia. Believe me, there is nowhere safe. Even if you are in your home, they will meet you there and burn you in your home. Stray bullets will hit you. So asking our people to stay home, to me, is just like trying to use a lipstick on a cancer, as we rightly said. No, there is nowhere safe in Ambazonia. Let us look for a permanent solution that will end the war. That is what I want to hear Ambazonians come out to say. Not asking people to stay in their homes where they will still be attacked and killed by La République.
Comrade Lima, I know your frustration. Believe me, I'm more frustrated than you. I think so because when this whole thing started, it wasn't what is going on now. Wasn't the idea? Things things moved so fast that we are where we are right now. Um, Let me take you back. That this whole thing did not start as an independence thing, because I think even if at that point some of us had the idea of saying that, okay, maybe we've had enough of these people, it's better we just revert back to 1961 and all of that. But the problem is, we did not have the capacity. Remember that Ambazonia had more or less been rendered useless by La Republic over the years in their effort to assimilate us. We had
True.
nothing that we could stand on. Now, so we simply thought that the best way to go about this was to ask that we all return to the 1972, you know, where maybe after that we could gather ourselves, organize properly, like, real organization, and then decide on what it is that we want. But for some reason, maybe I always say that it was because of the response from La Republique. You know, La Republique did not respond properly, because if they had respond properly, we wouldn't be where we are today. A lot of what we are experiencing today is from the response of La Republique. When the lawyers and the teachers asked for the normal things that professionals could ask for, what did they do? They beat up the lawyers, arrested them, shot at them. You know, now when we moved up to federation, they started arresting us officially. So I think that is what got us here. But I also think that maybe we should have, like you're saying, that we need to look for a plan. It's been 7 years or 8 years. I still see no plan except of killing every single and blessed day. I don't see a way out. I don't see La Republic coming to the table anytime. I don't see Ambazonians coming together as one big happy family, as you are saying that they should go there as Southern Cameroons. I don't know, whatever it is, but I don't see that happening tomorrow or by 20th May. Rather than having, believe me or not, rather than having 50 children injured at the grandstand, I would prefer that they are injured in their houses. Believe me
Uh,
or not.
I mean,
Let them stay in their houses. That's still my solution. Let them stay in their houses. Because if I was there, I would be staying at home. Because what we are saying now is nothing has been done since this incident. I have been on Twitter just reading. I decided not to tweet on this because at the end of the day, it looks like you are just speaking to yourself. I have seen a couple of the US embassy, this embassy, and all of that. But don't forget that for the past 8 years, these embassies have been writing. It looks like it's a script that they have crafted and kept, and they are waiting for something to happen, and then they just change and put Nkambe, the number of people killed, injured, and then they condemn it in the strongest terms. It looks like that is I don't know how I don't know how we usually call it. It's something that they
it's
have made
good.
and kept. Mhm. Now,
Yeah,
all those things don't matter. All those
yeah.
things don't count. If we leave these children again to go out on the 11th, on the
Mm-hmm,
20th,
mm-hmm.
believe me, the number of children that were wounded, then La Republic will need to bend down half of Cambe to meet up with those that were wounded on the grandstand this 11th February. So
Now, no
what I'm
problem.
suggesting is the issue of Ambazonians banning 20 MA, banning 11. It's not up to us to tell the children to come out, and all of that. I think what is left for us to do is to, first of all, look for possible solutions to keep the children safe as best as we cannot keep them 100% safe, but we can try to keep them 80% safe. Let them stay in their homes. And then we go back to those people that decided to ban these days and have a conversation with them, and say, maybe, just maybe, these days are no longer working. They are no longer meeting with the objective of the days, and maybe we should unban them. Because you are saying here that you are 100% sure that it is La Republique. Okay.
Of
But
course.
then you also said that a couple of leaders claimed responsibility when it happened. But you see, the
Exactly.
difference is that you are saying that you don't have the capacity, but those leaders did not say that they don't have the capacity.
They don't.
You see,
No,
that's the problem.
comedy.
So
Comedy.
that's why I'm saying that I don't speak for anybody. I don't. What I am saying is, I don't want to know who did it, but whoever did it should be held accountable. That is it. Whoever did it, I don't care if it's my late father, my mother, my anything. Whoever did it should be held accountable.
I mean, you
Now,
are right.
that's why I said yes. Whoever, I don't want to apportion blame here and there, but whoever did it, because I'm sure that if La Republique did it and now is claiming that it's Ambazonia, When the fact-finding mission comes, they definitely know who did it. They will know who did it. Because don't forget that in a country like where I live currently, even those kinds of instruments that were used, imagine in the 1945s, they can still pick traces of it around those areas, And I'm sure that what La Republique have, Ambazonia does not have.
True.
Exactly. And the methods that Ambazonia use is not what La Republique uses. La Republique does not have that time, because the Ambazonians have to go through a lot of stress to combine, before they come out with anything reasonable. But La Republique have all those things at their disposal. I'm sure that whoever is going to come to investigate it would definitely tell us who did it. Maybe not even today, maybe not even tomorrow, but I'm sure at some point in this struggle, that is going to happen.
Oh, I mean, nobody can even dispute that. You rightly put it, Comrade Nalowa. But let me just ask this really short question to you. Uh, do you want to tell me that people only get injured in Ambazonia just because they went out for grandstand? If our people don't go to the march passes, can you even say with a straight face that between now and 20th of May, nobody's going to die out of military action if our people just stay home?
No, no,
Can you
no.
can
I'm
you
not
say
saying
that?
that. I'm not saying that nobody is going to die. No, 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 no. I'm not saying that. But what
Okay.
I'm saying is we are trying to minimize casualty right now, because if we look at it since uh, 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 the incident that happened with Mama Apia and the others, if you look at it, we have not really had uh, um, this kind of large event with this kind of casualty.
No,
So the problem is, if we have
comrade, let
peop-
me interrupt you a little bit. The problem is most people are appalled by this 20th May and 11th of February because those are the days that we have cameras. I want to tell you that what happened on the 11th of February is child's play as compared to the number of lives lost every day. The reason that most people, okay, they don't they don't see is because there are no cameras. Journalists are not allowed to do their job in those war zones. So for people like us who have first-hand knowledge of what is going on, okay, the, one or two people dying a day is nothing in an explosion. Those things happen every day, but just because we don't have cameras, we turn the other way and we think that they don't happen. So my point is that this incident looks horrible just because it was televised. But without the camera, everything will go on as normal. So again, get my point. My point is not that I'm asking people to parade the streets, and because everywhere in Ambazonia, by the way, is unsafe. What I'm saying is the group heads, the people who go out there doing propaganda, saying that they have the capability to fight La Republique when they know they don't, should stop it. And they should not go out there claiming that they are the ones who stopped the 11th February and planted the bomb, because it makes the international community to look at us like terrorists who are harming their own children. That is what I'm saying. So I think both of us, we are saying the same thing. But for me, the reason I emphasize more on the responsibility of the group heads is because they are the ones who sit in the comfort of the diaspora and make statements like, we are going to stop 11 February, we are going to stop 20 May, knowing fully well that they don't have the capabilities. And then La Republic would use that opportunity, bring cameras in, plant a bomb, and then kill our children, and then say the Ambazonian fighters did it. That is my problem. I don't know if you understand my point.
I will read you something that somebody wrote. The person is my friend and also from Agos C. I will read it to you. Mr. Lehman, all these armored tanks exploded by Ambazonians. You still think that Ambazonia has no capability? Forensics will determine who did it, but know that Ambazonians have the ability to blow off La Republique Turks in their tanks. Now, like I said
Mhm.
before, and that is what I keep telling you, that
Mhm.
Do not. You see, the problem is international law does not penalize a people. They penalize individuals. Okay. Now, if somebody says, I am responsible for the ongoing war, it's not my place to say you are not responsible. I take you for your words. Believe me or not. Because it doesn't matter how many times I tell you that you are not responsible. The international community has seen you and have taken you for your word. And believe me or not, nobody is going to punish me under international law for your crimes. Never. It doesn't happen. So whoever goes out there saying that I was, I am the one who did this, I think the person already knows whether or not that is a crime under humanitarian, international humanitarian law.
I think
Yeah,
you're
I think
right.
so. Believe me, I
Oh,
think so. That is why I'm telling you that at this point, I'm not going to say it is A or it is B. At this point, I'm going to leave everybody to accept or refuse whatever it is that they think that they did or didn't do. While I, for one, I try to have the population stay at home and minimize the risk.
casualty.
Exactly. That's the point because you cannot be saying that somebody does not have the capability. And this person says, I have the capability. The whole world has seen this person saying that I have the capability. It doesn't matter if you or I say that you are lying, you don't have the capability. But then don't forget that somebody said, I have the capability to do this, and that thing has happened. So you see, it's like the public saying that if you guys don't come out to for the march pass, this is what is going to happen. Then it happens. How do you now go to convince anybody that La Republic did not have the capability, even if they didn't have?
I mean, we are saying the same thing basically. Okay, let me ask a question to the AGOPC speaker. When the Sonara facility was went on fire, what did the AGOPC say? They came out and they made the same statement that they are the ones who attacked it. And what happened when the investigators came on site? So listen, Comrade Nalobabi, you see, I'm not here to play politics or demagoguery with anyone. I'm here to state the facts. Okay, if people who sit, if Ayaba, if anybody who thinks that they have that ability to fight La République militarily, why are they hiding in the diaspora? Let them pick their backs and go there and fight and prove their point. Okay, what I will not tolerate is when people hide in the safety of the diaspora, instigate situations, and then the children of other people and the brothers and sisters of people like me and you are killed. Okay, that is the problem. So these people, the Chris Anu and the Ayabas, they don't speak for Ambazonia. And again, those armored vehicles, as I keep saying it, is done by La Republic themselves. They're the ones sabotaging themselves. We have people in the Cameroon government who doesn't want the war to end because they make a lot of money out of it. I want you to know that you have politicians of Ambazonians extract, okay, who have been in power because they cannot have elections in that area. They get nominated by presidential decree and they want to stay in that position of privilege. There are a lot of dynamics on the ground, Comrade Nalobabi, which we can spend the whole day to examine. But what I'll kindly tell you is, listen, our people hide in their homes and they are burnt alive in their homes. Our people go to look for food, they are shot. Children go to learn how to read and write, they are hit by stray bullets. Our grandmothers go to the farm, they are raped in the farm. So where is the safe zone in Ambazonia that they are asking us to hide? La Republic is everywhere in Ambazonia. So why is it that the upstation is there? They cannot use those explosives to wipe out army camp in the heart of Bamenda. The Joe's office is there in Bamenda. The governor is parading freely in Bamenda and in Southwest, in Boya. Where is the capabilities to run them out? You have people like Chris Anu on file saying with his own mouth on TV, he collected a deal from La République and brought it to Sako. That is the same person asking Ambazonians to stay in their homes. You have people like Ayaba who kidnapped Regina Munzi and then collected money and let her go. And they are the same ones giving lectures to our people to hide in their homes. My sister, let me tell you something, right? Again, I speak like an Amazonian, okay, who is a principal victim in this war. This war is not between the fighting on the ground. Our boys are barely struggling to survive and defend themselves with rudimentary tools, with Dane guns, with machetes. They don't have the capability, because if we had that capability, you will not have the military stations open all over Amazonia. We are under occupation. We don't have the ability to fight back. Let us have some humility and accept that Amazonians are not war people. We don't know how to fight wars. We don't like wars. That is why we are begging for peace. We are begging for the right to self-determination. We are begging for the right to vote in an exclusive referendum and decide how we want our children to grow. We don't have the power to fight La Republique. Make no mistake, we are victims of a genocide. We are not equal partners in a war. We cannot fight La Republique militarily. We don't have the capabilities. Let us be humble, honest, and sincere to the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lehman. Oh, this is it's a little bit, it's I think it's a little bit complicated because at one point I might think that Amazonians don't have anything, but then at one point I begin to see them. You know, this war has gone on for 7 years, and I think if they were that, they had nothing, then it would have ended by now. I think so. Don't forget that this is a guerrilla warfare. It's not a normal conventional war. There are normal conventional wars that end within a space of time, but this has gone up for years and years, and that is because we are not fighting like in the open. And I don't, believe me or not, I don't really think we need much to fight because we are not fighting a conventional war. I think the only problem we have is that our diaspora has fractured in so many ways that they cannot even sponsor the war anymore. You know, you need to convince somebody and convince this person for the person to bring out something that might not be able to feed someone even for 2 days. You know, I think that's where we have a problem because if we as a diaspora came together as one man, maybe all these things on the ground, we will not be experiencing it. Because, for example, look at all the kidnappings or ransom. You mentioned Madame Mundi. Madame Mundi is just one of the many. You know, they have even kidnapped people that their brothers and sisters abroad have been funding the revolution. You know, that's to tell you that they lack funds because the only way you would kidnap somebody and ask for 5 million, 6 million, 7 million is only when you are broke, you know. And because there is no real organization of these guys, you understand. I will give you an example. There was a time that a cousin of mine was kidnapped and they asked for 7 million. And it was surprising because the only reason why he was kidnapped was because he was working for La Republique. Then I asked the question, if he resigns, can they explain to me if there are some secondary processes or secondary solutions that the Amazonian people have put in place for people who leave their jobs? Don't forget that
Exactly.
this guy has 3 kids. So when he resigns, and it's not just 3 kids, he has 3 kids and a whole bunch of family members depending on him. So my question is, if he resigns, do we have a solution for those his 3 kids?
Thank
Let,
you very much.
let's
Thank
not
you.
go let's not go to the other family members that he is taking care of. Let's just look at his immediate family. When once he tenders his resignation, what next? Are we going to feed his kids? I cannot even feed myself. So I will not take that responsibility and ask somebody to resign. It is for this same reason why I'm one of those people that I always said asking our MPs right now to leave the National Assembly of Cameroon, believe me or not, I'm one of those people that have always been against it, because I know that some of those MPs are terrible. That's for sure. And I know that some of them are good people. I know, like, I will give you an example, like late Barrister Kemende. He was not an Ambazonian, but he had more than 50 people from his village living in his house in Bamenda. People that had run away from the conflict and then were in Bamenda, they were living in his house. He was taking care of them.
You
Okay.
are right.
Now he resigns, then he leaves his salary. Then what happens to him and those 50 people?
Okay.
It doesn't look like they struggled, because I would say they should resign if the struggle was structured in a way that we could say, okay, our parliamentarians need to go back home. Okay. But because they are going back home, we need to, for some reason, give them a little bit of stipend for them to keep on going with their life, going on with their lives, you know. But to ask someone that has more than 100 people depending on him to say, just leave your job, it might be a good thing to say, leave your job. But the problem is, what are the after effects of leaving that job? And then
You
what
are
do they
right.
do? They start to kidnap you. When they kidnap you and then they take 7 million, and then they let you go, and then you move to La Republique, you keep on doing your job. That's it,
Okay.
right?
You see what you have highlighted a couple things very brilliantly there. I will take just three of them. The first one is you brought to question the insecurity, the level of insecurity, which is characterized by the extortion, the kidnapping for ransom, and all the ills going on in the community. And now, this is what I want you to understand and accept. When there is a crisis of that magnitude, all the thieves and bandits, they come out and they make use of it. And that is why you see banditism has skyrocketed. Attacks on banks, individuals, kidnapping for ransom, all those insecurities have just worsened in Amazonia. There is no way to even leave. People go out, they undress them in the streets, take their shoes. I mean, rape, torture, and for all forms of ills. They are called collateral damage that comes with war. Okay? And that is just one of them. Number two, have you noticed that somehow when high level officials in La Republique are in quote kidnapped or arrested, somehow they miraculously always free themselves, they escape without any injury. The GOs, they escape, the senators, they escape, the parliamentarians, they escape without injury. How many civilians have been kidnapped and then they miraculously escaped?
No.
No. Just to let you know, who are the ones actually doing those kidnapping?
No, believe
No,
me, I don't want to. I
let
don't
us
want
go.
to talk
I want
about
us to
this
go.
kidnapping.
No,
I don't
that's
want to
what I
talk
want
about
us.
the
No, I
kidnapping.
want us to go step by step. Okay. So let us finish on the kidnapping issue. Somehow, when high officials get kidnapped, they miraculously escape without being harmed. After some money exchange hands in the back, as we all know, right? And somehow the officials keep coming and they get kidnapped and they get free. But when a young man is caught making ID cards, birth certificates for children who were born in the bush, he is killed in cold blooded. How long can we sustain that insecurity? Were those people marching at the grandstand? The answer is no. The thing I'm trying to for us to understand is Ambazonia is unsafe. That is why me and you we are in the diaspora. That is why even the group heads, right? They are here in the diaspora with us. Nobody there ventures back home because they know their lives will be in danger. So when they ask people to hide in their room, in their homes, where they will still be burned by La Republique, to me it makes no sense. What they should be doing, what all Ambazonians should be doing is speaking up, asking all Ambazonians to mobilize themselves and let us seek for a peaceful, permanent solution to end the war permanently.
Asking parliamentarians to quit their jobs, which is not a job, it's just they are hostage of the system. If they make you a senator and you refuse, they're going to kill you. In
Exactly.
Cameroon, they don't vote for senators, they appoint senators. So if they appoint you as the house slave and you refuse, or as a parliamentarian, you don't comply with the government, they kill you. Okay? Now, what I'm saying, if you can listen clearly to me, you understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the war has been going on for 8 years. Or is it 7 years? Instead of us asking our people to hide with no food, lock themselves down with no access to medication. How can you ask a pregnant woman to lock herself for 2 days? What if she needs to go to the hospital and the baby is coming? How can you ask somebody who has not eaten for 2 days to stay indoors? And if they tell him that they're going to give you $1,000 to go to the stadium, will you not rather take the risk and take the $1,000 and get something to eat? Listen, there are a lot of moving parts, okay? That is why me, as an Ambazonian who is in the diaspora, I don't have the moral authority to condemn the victims who go out because they are coerced by the government to go out on those days. If they go, they die. If they don't go, they're still going to be killed in their homes. Okay? They are facing the rock and a hard place. For me, as an Ambazonian, what I'm asking is let Ambazonians in their various host countries come together, organize themselves, talk to the leaders of their home countries, and ask them to support us transition in a peaceful, permanent solution, which calls to respect the 1961 Constitution. Okay? What I will not do is say, let our people hide. They have been hiding for 7 years. Even if they hide for another 8 years, 10 years, nothing is going to change. Like, people will still come to their homes and kill them. So we should be looking for a permanent solution. That is what I'm saying. We cannot pretend that there is somewhere safe in Ambazonia to hide. Your home is not safe. You will still be burned alive in your home.
No, we are not. Comrade, you are getting it. We are not asking them to hide. You see, I'm not asking anyone to hide in their homes. What I'm asking you to do is to stay at home. I'll give you an example. When
Okay.
this struggle started in 2016, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and with all these, the chaos and everything, there were many times I told my neighbors to stay indoors. It is not asking them to hide, because if the military wants to go in, they will break it and go in. Do you
Which they
understand?
do. Yeah, which they
Yes,
do all the
that
time.
is not asking them to hide. That is them to minimize the risk. It doesn't mean that because I say please stay indoors, it means that the military cannot bang and open the door. They would do that. But you must agree also with me that meeting you in a public area and breaking down your door are two different things. And it takes two different efforts for that to happen. So it doesn't mean that I'm not saying that being at home is 100% safe, or that those that have been at home have never in their lives experienced any tragedy. That's going to be a lie. But what I'm saying is it reduces the risk. Even if right now we are looking for even 1% of risk reduction. That is what we are looking for the people, while we are trying to implement these solutions that you are coming up with. Because these solutions that you are giving are perfect. But the problem with these solutions is it's not a solution for tomorrow or 20th May or even December.
Why?
But don't forget that between now and December, a lot of activities are lined up. This is
Okay.
not because, don't let's be honest, having Ambazonians coming together as one big happy family requires a lot of diplomacy, which, like you and I know, diplomacy does not happen in a day or two. It requires talking here, talking there. Don't forget, we are different individuals, different beliefs, different agenda, different everything. It requires time. Let's be honest. Now, even if Ambazonia comes together as one big happy family, we need to get La Republic back to the table. And you
Okay.
and I cannot guarantee anyone that if we are together, La Republic will be on the table the following day.
No, I
No,
can
we
guarantee
cannot do
you
that.
that. No, hold on,
So
hold
what
on.
I'm
No, comrade Naloba B, please don't buy the Kool-Aid that these clowns sell to you out there. Okay, don't buy it.
no, they
Okay.
don't need to sell.
No,
They don't need
no,
to
they are
sell. Let me
selling it.
explain
You know
something
what
to
I'm
you. They don't
saying
need
is,
to sell.
you know what I'm telling you. I've been part of most of the meetings that we have talked with stakeholders. The United States government has tried to ask Ambazonians to come together and speak in one voice, but Ambazonians could not. The truth is, Ambazonians are disorganized and dysfunctional. So my point is, instead of the group heads pointing fingers, asking those on the ground who are already in the war zones to hide, might be they who are in the safety of the diaspora, they who enjoy their luxurious homes, their big cars, might be they should drive and meet each other and work together and collaborate and ask the US government to intervene. If they have the time, the energy to tell people back home to hide, why can't they use the same time and energy and ask Ambazonians worldwide to come together and form a united front? Listen, we cannot give these people this leeway and somehow justify this buffoonery that they come online and they say, oh, we are asking people to stay back home. No, you guys come together in the safety of the diaspora and push for the war to end and a ceasefire agreement to be reached. Because if Ambazonians were united and speaking in one voice, many countries like Canada, Switzerland, United States, who, by the way, have granted CPS to Ambazonians, would have already been able to drag La Republic to the table. But each time they want to bring La Republic to the table and they call Ambazonians, we show up like groups and then we start quarreling amongst ourselves. Let us be honest with each other and stop pointing fingers at our innocent people. That is my point. No matter what our people do, they shall be killed because it is a war zone. There is no safe place in the war zone. Can we even agree on that?
I agree with you on that. But the problem with the war zone is no matter how bad it is, people hide. That
What,
is that is
what
why you
about us
say
just
that
trying to end
when
the
there
war?
is a war, people stay indoors. Even well, I haven't been in a real war zone. Well, except what was happening back home. But I mean, when I say war zone, I mean a real war zone. But I have seen people hiding in their homes, hiding somewhere, not people knowing fully where that this thing is going to happen. And then I'll be here encouraging them that they should go out. No, I cannot do that. What I'm doing is I would encourage them to stay at home while I stay here and try to look for a solution, that a permanent solution that will make sure that they don't stay at home forever. Because don't remember very well, 20th May is approaching and you and I don't know what is planned for 20th May.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If we say we justify to the people why staying at home is not an option, and then they go out and then something happens to them, then they would say that we said, and that is what I don't want. I don't want to be responsible for anybody's for on a tragedy for anybody. No, I don't want to be. Now, like I said, 20th May is approaching. People
Mm-hmm.
should stay indoors
Mm-hmm.
until when we are able to implement these things that you are suggesting. Then we'll be able to say the first stage is to let the people be out either way. But for now, because you and I, you know, and I know that staying at home minimizes the risk even by 1%. 1% is good for me. It's good
Okay.
for me in a war zone.
I will
1%
conclude on that.
reduction is good for me. So if they can just stay at home until we figure out a permanent solution, I think that would be the best way forward.
I think what you're saying is right, is correct. I cannot dispute the fact that staying at home is a good measure. But my point is, we should not make it as if staying at home is the group leaders, group heads in the diaspora enforcing that. When our people choose to boycott schools and courts and all those things, the group heads did not ask them do it. The problem I'm talking about is the overzealousness of some few. who
No, no,
want
no.
to
Let
be
me
seen as leaders.
let me cut you there. We
Okay,
did. I will explain to you again. I will explain you where the struggle. You can see that there is a problem with the struggle. We
okay.
did.
With
Um,
guns, did you threaten people with guns
I
and
want,
say you were gonna harm
I want
people?
to explain to you. I want to explain to you a lot of things that people don't know. When
Okay.
this crisis started in 2016, we did
Mm-hmm.
not wake up one day and call for ghost towns and then people expected it. No,
Good.
we did a lot of work before the ghost town started. We talked to the people, we explained to them why there's supposed to be a ghost town. You sell your cause to the people.
Good.
Okay. We
Good.
we we when the teacher said the students shouldn't go to school anymore, it's
Mm-hmm.
because the teachers gave the students a reason which the students considered it to be tangible enough for them not to go to school.
Thank you. So what have
When
changed?
when our leaders, the lawyers, Barrister Bobga, Barrister Yambe, Agbobala, and the others, when they said no going to court, they gave us reasons why it
Good.
was not possible to be in court. We understood those reasons. It was sold to us peacefully. We sold it to the population peacefully.
Okay, what
Okay.
is happening now?
Now, let me explain what is happening. At that time, there was basically no war. It was just a protest. Okay.
Okay.
It was just us protesting and all of that. Maybe a little bit of, malhandling and, those things. But I think where we are getting it wrong now is disorganization, lies, uh, bad leadership. A lot of things now are playing into this whole thing. Somebody would say that it is because at that time there was no full blown war. No, it's not about the war. It is about what the people believe in. That's why I keep saying all the time that you don't sell your cause by threatening people. The moment you start threatening someone, it means you have failed. If your people do not understand that you are doing this or they have to do this for a greater good, it means you haven't sold the reason why you are doing this enough to these people. Or you might have sold it to them, but they are not interested because maybe a lot of them have looked at the way we are as Ambazonians and look at their life before Ambazonia and look and they're like, okay, you know what? I'd rather just be with La Republic. Do you get the point?
I
So
see your point.
we cannot threaten people. The moment you start threatening your people, they know that you've lost it. It
But
means that
hold on.
you are not fighting for those people anymore. Because what happens is you say to the people, I will give you an example. When there was consortium, okay, Barrister Bobala would say, come January 10th, okay, nobody is going to go to school because the government hasn't met with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 demands. Okay. You would notice that there was no resistance. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I
There was no
definitely get it.
resistance from the people, none at all. In fact, I used to look at them like sometimes the children were happy even staying at home. Sometimes the children themselves will give you reasons why they are at home. Because it was being sold to them like it was a common cause. But right now, I would be honest with you. So right now, when I see even the way some of us type on social medias threatening those back home, I always say one thing. The problem is those back home do not still know the power that they possess. They have no idea. That is what they lack. Those back home have the power to put everything that is happening to an end. They alone have that power. Diaspora has no power.
I mean, I think that you have made my point a little bit better than me, and I think that I agree with you 100% on everything you're saying.
That is why in my last video I told the people of Cambe that that they should listen. they hold the knife and the yam. They should forget all these social media warlords. If they think before God and man, after watching those videos, I told them, if you people think that your problem is La Republique, as a people, you guys can chase them out without the help of anybody. You don't need Amazonian forces. You don't need me. You don't need anybody. As a people, you can chase them out. And if for some reason you people think and you people are sure that this was carried out by Amber Boys, believe me or not, chase them out. That is what I said to them. It is only the people of Nkambe that can look for a solution to their problem. Because as it stands now, only the communities can protect themselves.
And
Only
then
them.
that's the danger. Comrade B, you've raised a point which I've been trying to avoid, right? All of us, we have been trying to avoid. It is not a Cambet problem. It's an Amazonian problem. We are under occupation, right? The central question is not if people stay back home or if people uh, react to the provocations or what the propaganda people say. The central problem is this is a conflict between the Republic of Cameroon and the former Republic of Southern Cameroons. How should such a conflict be solved? That is a central problem. And if we focus only on the trivialities around it, the peripheral incidents, we're going to miss the point. People who sit and they say, let's fight, they have the capability to fight. These people are not honest. My point is, Amazonians need to come and sit and say, what is the nature of this war? This answer is simple. It is a conflict between two states. In law, you know, me and you, we call it a conflict of state succession because it's two countries that came together under a legal form and it is not working. They need to go their separate ways because one of the parties violated the terms of the agreement. It is that simple. So what I try to do is to rise above the realities around it. What I want us to do is to sit as a people and ask ourselves, how long do we think we can sustain this killing exchange? How long can our children stay out of school? How long can our people stay inside the house until they get tired and say, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go out there and live my life. I don't care if I live or if I die. You know what? I'm tired of these ghost towns. I'm going to go out there. I don't care what you guys say. I need to feed my family and put bread on my table. If we don't come up with a global solution as soon as possible to end this war and usher in a new era of development for our people, very soon our people will be forced to run all of us out of town. And it's not going to be pretty because we're going to lose. The Amazonian people will lose their heritage, they will lose their sovereignty, and they will not be able to function as a people endowed with their natural, inalienable right to self-determination. So I want us to, before we end up, let us agree that there is a need for Amazonians in the diaspora to organize themselves. Rather than us focusing back home and asking those back home to hide or to stay back home where it is not even safe in their homes, let me and you be holding Amazonian activists to come together and let us forge a united front to face La Republique and usher in a peaceful permanent solution. I think that would be the best thing me and you can agree on because uh, there's just nothing our families can do to be safe. They will be killed either way, be it in their homes or even if they go outside. So I think at least you can see with me on that point, can't you?
I can see with you on the fact that we should organize ourselves and look for a permanent solution to the problem. That
Thank
I
you.
see with you. But the
Thank
part
you
that
very
I
much.
don't see with you is I still think they should stay home until when you and I and the others and the activists have looked for a permanent solution. Now, once that permanent solution comes, then there'll be no reason for them to stay at home. You see, that's because I don't want them going out and then having to cry later on. So while we are calling on the Amazonian activists to look for a permanent solution, not just for this 11 February and 20 May, even for the ghost towns, you know, even the ghost towns also included. While we are hoping that they are looking for a general solution, we are also calling on the parents to please, to make sure that they keep their kids home. especially during public gatherings. Keep your kids home for safety reasons. Comrade Liman, are you there? Okay, it seems like we've lost Comrade Liman. So we are going to end the show here. If you have any questions, please just drop it on the comment section. And in our next episode, we are going to be answering the questions for you. Thank you very much and have a great night.